Who should really consider the msi Katana 15HX for their next gaming rig, and who would be better off putting their money somewhere else? Is it the sweet spot for a college student who wants to game after classes, or does the price push it into only for hardcore enthusiasts territory? And most importantly, does it actually deliver enough day-to-day value to justify that tag on the price label? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you start looking at any high-end gaming laptop, the first thing that makes you pause is the balance between raw performance and how that performance translates into real life. The Katana 15HX advertises a 15.6-inch QHD panel with a 165Hz refresh rate, an Intel i7-14650HX, and an RTX 5070 GPU. On paper that sounds like a future-proof monster, but the true question is, how does it behave when you sit down for a 2-hour raid in Destiny 2 after a day of classes, or when you need to crank out a quick video edit between streaming sessions? That's the kind of hesitation most buyers feel, the fear of splurging on specs that never get used, or ending up with a machine that overheats and throttles in the middle of a match. Let's break down the everyday scenario. Imagine you're a sophomore majoring in graphic design who also runs a small Twitch channel on the side. You need a laptop that can run Adobe Photoshop and Premiere smoothly, but you also want to jump into Elden Ring or Valorant without dropping frames. The Katana's 32GB of DDR5 RAM gives you plenty of headroom for multitasking. You can have Photoshop, a browser with several tabs, and a Discord voice chat open, and the system still feels responsive. In my own testing, loading a 30-minute 4K video project took just a couple of seconds to scrub through, which is a noticeable upgrade over a typical 16GB setup. That's the kind of practical benefit that goes beyond just it has a lot of RAM. Now, the GPU is the real headline. The RTX 5070 with 8GB of GDDR7 memory is a step up from the previous generation's RTX 3060 series cards. In a real-world test playing Cyberpunk 2077 at the laptop's native QHD resolution with medium-high settings, the frame count hovered around 6,070 frames per second, and the screen's 165Hz refresh made motion feel buttery smooth. If you're the type who enjoys the extra visual fidelity of QHD instead of dropping down to 1080p, this is where the Katana shines. It also means you can game at high settings and still have enough GPU headroom for GPU-accelerated rendering in Premiere, which can shave minutes off export times. For a creator-gamer hybrid, that dual-use efficiency is a real strength. But there are trade-offs you need to be aware of before you click Add to Cart. First, the laptop's chassis, while sleek and black, leans toward the heavier side of the 15-inch segment. At just over 5 pounds, it's still portable enough for a dorm room, but you'll feel the weight if you try to carry it around campus all day. The battery life reflects that power draw as well, with the screen cranked to 165Hz and the RTX 5070 running, you'll get roughly 34 hours of mixed use before you're hunting for an outlet. If you're looking for a laptop that can survive a full day of classes, notes, and a bit of gaming on the go, you'll probably need a charger on hand. That's a practical weakness that often trips up buyers who expect a gaming laptop equals long battery life myth to hold true. Thermals are another real-world factor. The Katana employs MSI's instant gratification cooling system, which combines dual fans with multiple heat pipes. Under a sustained load, say, a 30-minute Red Dead Redemption 2 session, the fans spin up aggressively and the laptop can get noticeably louder. The temperature stays within safe limits, but the acoustic footprint can be a distraction in a shared dorm or quiet apartment. If you value a quiet environment, you might need to lower the fan curve in the MSI center or accept the noise during heavy sessions. It's not a deal-breaker for most gamers, but it's something to keep in mind. Connectivity-wise, the Katana brings Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3, which are solid for low-latency online play and quick peripheral pairing. The inclusion of a USB 3.2 Gen 2 port that also supports DisplayPort and power delivery is handy if you want to hook up a 4K external monitor for a desktop-like setup. On the downside, the lack of a dedicated Ethernet port means you'll need a dongle for a wired connection, which can be a minor inconvenience for competitive gamers who swear by wired internet stability. So, who should actually buy this machine? If you're a serious gamer who wants to enjoy modern titles at QHD with high frame rates, and you also have a side hustle that involves video editing or 3D work, the Katana 15HX gives you a balanced blend of power and storage. The 1TB PCIe SSD provides fast load times and enough space for a decent game library without constantly juggling external drives. The 32GB of RAM and RTX 5070 make it future-proof for the next couple of years, meaning you won't feel forced to